All right, guys, so Trump's health has been a topic of concern for a while now. Look, it's only getting worse. It's only getting worse. So let me walk you through this here. First, let's start with this. Watch this video, then ask yourself why in less than 1 year, Trump has had 2 annual exams, taken at least 1 cognitive test that we know of, been hiding large bruises on his hand, had an MRI for something, exhibited facial drooping, had severely swollen ankles the size of stovepipes, and walks around aimlessly like a lost blind dog. So, he just went to Japan, and this is what happened when he was in Japan. This is what people are talking about. He just like wanders around aimlessly in this room. He has no idea what's going on. He has no idea seemingly where he is, and we get this amazing video. Watch this. And that went on too, by the way. I've seen the longer video, and it is bizarre. He's aimlessly wandering around. He's got no idea where he is or what the hell's going on. And then we also get this. So Trump, this was when he was on the plane, and he does his patented rant against, every single minority congressperson, usually the women in particular. He does this whole rant. They're low IQ, they're low IQ. Weird how that works. That it always happens to be a woman, and it always happens to be a minority woman, and he immediately thinks low IQ. All right, ready? Watch this. Watch what he says.
They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. They have AOC's low IQ. You give her an IQ test, have her pass like the exams that I decided to take when I was at Walter Reed. Those are very hard. They're really aptitude tests, I guess, in a certain way, but they're cognitive tests. Let AOC go against Trump. Let Jasmine go against Trump. I don't think Jasmine, the first couple of questions are easy. A tiger, an elephant, a giraffe, When you get up to about 5 or 6, and then when you get up to 10 and 20 and 25, they couldn't come close to answering any of those questions.
Okay, as this person points out, they don't give IQ tests at doctor's offices or hospitals. They give dementia tests. Trump is confused because he has dementia. He's bragging about taking a dementia test. And he goes, I saw that was a giraffe. I said, that's a giraffe. For sure, that's an elephant. I said, I got it exactly right. By the time you get up to question 20, 25, it gets a little difficult. But they said I did better than anybody's ever done on this test. Why are they giving him a fucking dementia test? Gee, I wonder why they are. It's almost like people around him have witnessed cognitive issues. It's almost like they've realized his narcissistic disconnection from reality has only gotten worse by the day, to the point where now he's bragging about stopping 8 wars. He stopped 0. Now he's saying, I got $20 trillion invested in the country. He got nothing. In fact, we're losing manufacturing jobs as we speak. People are fucking fleeing. Inflation's going up. Unemployment's going up. The lies have gotten more absurd. It's lie inflation on a daily basis. So this, as he's calling AOC and Jasmine Crockett low IQ, and they can't fucking do like I did on the cognitive test or the IQ test. It's a fucking dementia test, bro. Why are they giving you that? But there also was, he accidentally acknowledged in this same interview here that he just had an MRI. Well, an MRI is not routine. Why are they doing an MRI? What's the issue? What's the health issue you're having where they felt compelled to order an MRI? Because that's not part of a normal checkup. He let that slip. And that only leads to more questions about his health and how bad it is and what's happening. All right, more. Holy shit, Dr. Jonathan Reiner, Dick Cheney's former cardiologist, just said Trump's secret MRI could reflect a showing of neurological symptoms. Reiner says MRIs are only ordered when something's wrong, and the White House is hiding why. Look at this. Remember when Trump was making this face? People were speculating one of the things that could have been wrong with him was mini strokes. And this face was a piece of evidence there. He was gone for what, 6 days, 7 days randomly? He's never been gone for that long from public life for a while. This was about a month ago. He was gone for 6 or 7 days randomly out of nowhere. And then he showed up looking like fucking hell. Is it mini strokes? We don't know because they're hiding it. They won't tell us. They won't tell us what's happening. But this was his face when he was falling asleep at one of the events. All right, more. Here's what this guy says.
Medical analyst, Dr. Jonathan Reiner. Most of us do not get an MRI as part of a normal physical. Aren't they typically used to detect things like strokes and aneurysms and tumors? I mean, do you have any clues as to why the president would have gotten an MRI?
Strokes and aneurysms and tumors. Strokes and aneurysms and tumors.
It's not part of a routine screening. There's been really a lack of candor. The big question is what prompted his MRI? So what symptoms were they concerned about? What particular type of MRI was performed? Was it a brain MRI? Was it a cardiac MRI? Was it an MRI of his spine, of his prostate? What prompted a concern that would take him in a relatively unscheduled way to Walter Reed for this testing? Why didn't they tell us that? Didn't they disclose that he was tested when Dr. Barbarella issued his report after the president's visit? And now, why won't they tell us exactly why the testing was performed and the results? I think without that, then there's really no trust.
And why have we not gotten the full story about the bruises on his hands? They originally said, oh, it's because he's shaking so many hands, and that's like, regular bruising from constant contact. That's what they tried to say. Meanwhile, every single medical person that looked at it said, no, that's from an IV, that he's had IVs in his hands. And then you compare, what his hands look like to all the other elderly people who had gotten that done, that like fucking Queen Elizabeth had that on her hand like a week before she fucking died or something like that. So what are you getting injected? What's the issue that's so severe that seemingly every month around the same time you have to get these injections and it bruises your hands, and you've had it on the left hand, you've had it on the right hand? What are they hiding? We don't know. We don't know. But we know it's something. We know it's something. And if you think about the way they talked about Joe Biden correctly, saying, hey man, what's going on here? What are they hiding? Why does something seem off? Cognitively, he doesn't seem to be doing well. You got all that's going on, and they were more than willing to say, this is a lack of transparency. This is unacceptable for the world's most powerful man. And now he's doing the same thing. If anything worse. So, it's not looking good. His health is failing him. His mind is failing him. And I've said it before. I'll say it again. One of the only things that might be saving us from Lord knows how much damage and destruction to what remains of our democracy is the fact that it's a long shot for him to, survive another fucking 3 years, right? I mean, I really think that's the case. You don't see many fat 80-something-year-olds. They usually pass away before that, right? Well, he's fat, and he's 80-something. So, it ain't looking good for the big guy. Let's just say that. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.